welcome back into the Fantastic
Hey,
Sports
Jeff.
Show. Hey,
What's
Jeff.
happening?
I'd take five and 2/3 innings pitched, 1 earned run from Taijuan Walker every time.
May I remind you what was going on last year with this guy?
Well, but he started off.
I'm sorry, I'm being too negative right out of the
Yeah,
chute
come
here,
on,
right?
Skversky.
We're teed up here.
But he is over. Is he overachieving or achieving how he should be
Okay,
achieving?
can I talk about my group chat member? I told you I have a group chat, the Hoagie
Yeah.
Mouths. And there was a person, I will not necessarily say who it was, out of anonymity and it being a safe space, but was like, Am I starting to kind of low-key like Taijuan Walker? Do I like him? And I was like, yeah. As a person, I think he's always been a really great guy and has always like owned his stuff, good or bad or whatever. But I mean, tonight he had a really great moment. Did you guys see that?
Fantastic.
Like, unbelievable.
And here it is.
There it is, right there.
Oh!
And just
Now,
right to Harper.
They have actually practiced this stuff in spring training, believe it or not. Not to that degree, but they practice those in Clearwater all the time. Obviously, that is hard to replicate. I mean, that's amazing.
That was
So that's the
unbelievable.
highlight of the game?
Yes.
Honestly, yeah.
Maybe a highlight
A
of the
pitcher
season.
makes a good play. That's the highlight of the game. The highlight of the season.
Highlight of the season. So 31 games in.
You know what? You got to take your hat off to him. He's pitched well early.
Yeah,
He's done exactly what the Phillies need
He did not do
He did a
too
great job
terribly
this
bad.
offseason adjusting to everything that went wrong last year. Everyone wanted to run him out of town. He goes into the offseason, he works his tail off, and he puts himself in position to really be a starter, at least right now, the rest of the season. I just don't see it with what's going on.
Do you have higher hopes for Alec Boehm or Taijuan Walker the rest of the way?
I think that's an easy question.
I know, but I'm just not a big Boehm guy so far this year.
But give it time.
I need power here, Jeff. I need power from that position.
You know what? And maybe this is opening a can of worms, but they've had some power issues, in my opinion, going back to letting Rhys Hoskins go.
Yeah.
And I think it has caused a domino effect with all of a sudden you don't have an extra outfielder because Bryce moves to first. And I think it's been a domino effect. And by the way, you talk about the starting pitching. Why not take one of these extra starting pitchers, turn it into an outfielder in a trade?
Like Ranger Suarez, who's going to be a free agent?
Well, I mean, maybe.
I like that idea.
Maybe.
Trade Ranger.
But what about Andrew Painter?
Ooh.
Well, it would take a Mason Miller for, I don't even know. Painter's I say everybody in the organization is available except Andrew Painter.
I would send a top prospect over proven major league talent every single day of the week.
Well, when you say top prospect, I'd say Justin Crawford. Trade him.
Okay.
But you're going to need him. Who do you need more, Justin Crawford, the center fielder of the future, or Andrew Painter, the ace of the future? Would you package them both for the right deal?
Got my Trout type?
Oh, no way. I would not do that.
No.
I would not do that because Trout's on the wrong side of 30 and he's not in his prime anymore.
Facts. Okay, so quick question, because you mentioned it, there is a pitching situation that's going to emerge. Ranger, of course, is coming back. He's going to be on the mound on Sunday. Yes, Sunday. What would you like to see happen there? Because I mean, something's got to shuffle around.
I think it's really simple. Ranger's the guy. He's in the rotation. He's proven. He was an all-star last year. Taijuan Walker, what he's done so far this year, lightning in a bottle. It's great. But look at the facts over the course of his career. He's a guy with a 4+ ERA. Send him either to the bullpen or try to see, and I don't think you're going to get a lot for him, but try to see if you can utilize either him as a long man in the bullpen. You never know when you're going to have an injury. You never know what could happen. But don't get too cute here. I mean, really, let's not get cute. I really think you got to send Taijuan Walker to the bullpen.
Yeah.
I'm still going back to the trade Ranger thing. I like it.
For the right guy, I would trade anybody.
Because your rotation in the playoffs, if they make the playoffs, is already going to be set. To me, in my head, it's Wheeler, Nola, Christopher Sanchez, and Painter.
Painter? What about Luzardo?
Yeah. Oh, well, there you go. So you got, I mean, if you're going to go.
You have 7 guys.
Yeah, okay, take Painter
Painter,
out.
No,
Painter could be
he didn't look great
I just don't think.
in Dunedin tonight.
Well, maybe he's not the guy. I just don't think he's the back
Well,
end
Jason,
guy.
while you debate this, let's hear from Taijuan Walker.
He pitched so well. You know, he mixed his pitches. For the most part, he got ahead of hitters and attacked the zone. He's kept us in games. I trusted him.
I wanted to go deeper in the games. This one coming in, and I thought I did a pretty good job of that, getting quicker outs. Obviously that 6th inning kind of just got away from me a little bit, but before that, I felt like I was in a pretty good groove, getting quick outs, quick innings. It's kind of back and forth between me and their pitcher, and, it was a quick game.
Do you think anybody would trade for him, Taijuan Walker?
I don't think
He's pitching well.
I don't think you're going to get a lot for him, and that's why we're talking about a Painter. I think you need to really bolster the outfield, and obviously the bullpen is struggling. Those are your two key areas that are struggling with the Phillies right now: your bullpen and your outfield. And I think they need some outfield help.
I just think I keep talking trade, Breland, because this is the year Dave Dombrowski needs to make a splash, not these little tinkering deals.
This is a World Series team, right? I mean, so it is put up or shut up right here, right now.
Yeah.
And yes, you have to go for it, right? Is this team better than the Dodgers right now? Is this team better than the Mets? I mean, look, it's 31 games in. Let's not overreact.
Right.
Having said that, there are glaring holes on this team that they can address. They have a surplus of starting pitching. Use it to your advantage.
All righty. Well, guys, we have to take a break. There's the number. There's the upload link. We'll continue having some fun when we come back. All right. So welcome back. This is something that I noticed, guys, and that was a little interesting to me, because I'm not going to lie to you. Mitch said I didn't even know they were going on at the time. I'm not going to lie to you. When I walked into the sports bar for the cruise, I was like, why are these people here? I wanted to watch the draft, and then I realized that there was a hockey game on, and there's a bunch of Canadians on the ship, and they're watching this, and I'm like, oh, wow, that's right.
The playoffs
this is
are going on.
And it was one of those things that it's not been on my timeline. I haven't seen anybody speaking about it. I forgot about it, and I work in this industry, and it's just one of those things that I'm like, is Philadelphia checked out of both of these sports? And I think the answer is very much yes.
What do you think?
Nobody's talking about the Sixers or the Flyers. Why are Sixers and Flyers fans going to care about what's going on in St. Louis or Denver with either of the teams? I mean, look, the Sixers were really completely irrelevant this year. It's sad because going in, they had the team where you're going, okay, could they compete with Boston? Could they compete here? The Flyers are... It feels like they're headed for a second rebuild since the whole Jeff Carter, Michael Richards trades.
I care very much about both. And I'll tell you why. Because it's stress-free.
Because you're betting? Oh.
No. Maybe.
Yeah.
No, it's stress-free. Playoff sports is the best.
But you don't have any.
That's what makes it fun. The stress
but to me, there's no extra incentive in there.
Well,
to rub it in. Do you want your neighbor to show off to you their fancy new car? Of course not. No. So do I want to see the Celtics and Jason Tatum, who the Sixers could have?
I don't care about the Celtics.
Going off.
But then you root against. It gives you something to care about. I'm rooting against Boston. I'm rooting against the Toronto Maple Leafs again. I'm rooting against the Lakers. That was terrible. So I love
the
Anthony
Leafs have
Edwards.
not won a cup since 1967. Why are you a hater?
Because I'm rooting against a Canadian team hoisting the cup as long as possible.
Why?
Because I'm American and I root for United States teams.
Even though all of your players are Canadian anyway?
They're all
States
Canadian.
Teams. Not all of them. Excuse me. And Austin Matthews is American. I don't want to see a Canadian team hoist the cup. That's just my thing.
You wouldn't be happy for Scott Lawton?
Toronto.
Yeah, sure. I'll root for
wasn't Toronto's starting goalie tonight Anthony Stolarz from Edison, New Jersey?
It's the fans. Because hockey means...
The Flyers have not won a cup in 50 years, right? I mean, they haven't been to the playoffs 5 straight years. I mean, it's...
Hockey in Philadelphia, I wasn't here for that.
The last time it was fun was like when I was in college. This is a hockey town. And even when the Flyers were out of it, I think people still watch the playoffs,
that
right?
That Stanley Cup run in 2010 was amazing.
That was so
and I was on the road with the Flyers at that time. That was amazing. I was there for that incredible Game 7, that series against the Bruins. They go all the way to the Cup final against the Blackhawks. That was a great, fun series. And they blew up that team because things going on with Jeff Carter and Michael Richards.
I'll never forgive Michael Layton for that soft goal.
Oh, we should have showed it.
Soft goals happen in hockey. But in any event, nobody cares.
Yeah.
What is the incentive to care?
Right.
And by the way, it's beyond a point.
I care.
It's beyond a point with the Sixers where you're going, oh, look at the passion from the Celtics and the Knicks and Jalen Brunson. We're way past that with Embiid and this team.
Playoff hockey is the greatest playoff there is.
So, well, let's see what the majority said. Well,
There you go.
yeah, everyone says go Phils. You guys are checked out as well. It's not just me thinking the vibes are off. The vibes, in fact, are off here in Philadelphia, and no one cares. And I'm not yucking it, guys. I don't blame you, because I'm disgusted with the Sixers. Why would you want to watch more basketball after this horrific showing from your own team? And like you said, Jeff, the Flyers have been so irrelevant in the postseason that I think people forget that the NHL postseason exists.
We should change that, though, to are you watching?
Maybe.
Everyone's watching.
Watching what?
I don't think everyone's watching when the
I
Phillies
don't
are
think
on
so
at the
at
same
all.
Well,
time.
not the NBA. Yeah, maybe
Not the NHL.
The Phillies are on at the same time. What would you rather watch if you had one TV? Your own team or some bozo team from Boston? I'm not watching that.
Unless there's something, a Game 7,
Right.
NBA Finals or Conference Finals, something like that, where you're going to flip it on, I don't think anyone here cares. When your team's not in it,
There's nothing else on. Just saying, put it on, you know? Put the game on.
this is on.
But the Phillies
That's right.
are on.
This is
Why
Fantastic
are you-
Sports Show.
Yeah, you should watch this. All right, anyway, we're going to go to break. There's the number. There is the upload link. We'll be right back. Are down the stretch, and we have to say goodbye to a Flyers legend tonight, Jason.
Yeah, Ed Van Impe passing away. Remember, one of the original captains, one of the original members of the Broad Street Bullies, and we mourn his passing here. The Flyers sending out a statement this morning, and a lot of people immediately tweeting his impact and their memories of him. And
Yeah.
apparently, there was a hit on the Russians during that famous scrimmage.
They left the ice. They wanted to go
left the
home.
Yeah,
ice.
Jeff, tell us. I mean,
In the prank
Yeah,
phone call.
yeah.
But he used to prank rookies. So Bob Kelly, the Hound,
Yeah.
he told a story about how when he was a rookie, what he did was he had the Delaware County Police Department have Bob Kelly arrested
Oh, my
as a
God.
prank. And they had a judge and a court and the whole thing.
The whole thing was a
The
prank.
whole thing. And it was a prank just
Wow.
to really, an initiation into the Flyers.
Wow.
How would that go over today?
I would have a nervous breakdown.
Well, people would be protesting. You can't, it's taxpayer dollars.
I mean,
and-
it's
Yeah.
a whole
Yeah.
nother culture. I mean, this is, look, in the 60s or
Yeah.
whatever.
Yeah.
But he was a great guy and obviously a heck of a hockey player. But I love those kind of stories because that's how close those teams were. And obviously, different time that
Yeah,
would not
that's
play so well
unreal.
now.
I know, and every time we talk about the Broad Street Bullies, I'm reminded about how that team and those players define what we want to see in a Philadelphian athlete.
Not just hockey.
Lunchbox,
All of them.
Yeah, just the grinding, just down to earth, do anything to win kind of guy. And
Yeah.
he epitomized that.
But it's a different game now, right? It's a
Right.
more finesse game. They took all of
all
that.
the goons out. Yeah,
The goons-
I miss goon hockey a
The
little
goons
bit.
are all
Can't
gone.
have
Yeah.
goons
Well, you can
anymore.
have just one enforcer, one guy who fights for your star.
You should read a book called Boy on Ice. It's about Derek Beauregard.
Not interested.
Yeah.
And we just had the
Probably
hockey
change your
conversation
tune.
about does anyone care about hockey?
Yeah, we did hear from one of his teammates, Joe Watson, on the passing of his former teammate.
Hey, Joe Watson here, talking about my friend Ed Van Impe. Him and I came to Flyers in 1967. We prepared great teammates, and we had a lot of fun together on the ice as well as off the ice, and he'll be greatly missed by the Flyer organization and all the Flyer fans throughout the world. Rest in peace, my friend.
Thank you to Joe for sharing.
Thank you very much for sending that
I
in.
wanted to hear from somebody who played with him and remembered him in his heyday and had something to say.
Yeah.
So
Those,
that's a
those
great story,
teams,
though.
and those teams will always be remembered,
Yeah.
just beloved. Still to this day, those guys are beloved in this city. And think
Oh,
about it, it
absolutely.
happened 50 years ago.
Yeah, I didn't even, it was funny. I'll never forget one of the first times I ever had like a contact with Bernie Perrant signed my grandpa's golf card, and my grandpa gave it to me. And I wasn't even alive when Bernie Perrant was active. But I was so excited to get that. I might have been like 9 or 10 years old.
And he
I was so
probably let you try on his rings as well, right?
I mean, he's just
he's like the nicest guy ever.
Unreal legends. And you're right. I think even if you weren't in that generation, it still resonates very well with everybody.
Yeah,
So.
I just long for playoff hockey in Philadelphia.
Me
When
too.
will this happen?
Just need a coach,
We're
need some
still
players.
years away from being a few years away.
It feels like we're headed toward another rebuild, and I don't know if Danny Briere wants to say that, but it certainly feels that way because they did not draft well. They've had some bad luck with injuries, and it seems like it's forever away.
Stanley Cup in the next 10 years?
I don't know.
Where, here?
Yeah.
I sure hope so, but I don't really.
That's a tough thing to
I just
answer.
want to see playoffs, dog. Like,
I'll take it. You're right about that.
yeah. It's
But,
been
I mean,
so
look,
long.
look at the Phillies in the mid-2015s area. They looked so far away. They
That's
were
true.
so
You know what I will
bad.
say? The kids today are spoiled, right? You've had 3 Super Bowls in 8 years. When I was a kid, I had none of this,
Nothing.
right? The
I
Phillies
know.
were bad, the Sixers were
Yeah.
bad, the Flyers were bad.
And the
They had-
Flyers were competitive in my lifetime.
you know, they were all bad, right?
Yeah.
There was maybe one good year with each team, but they were all bad in my
Yeah.
childhood. So the kids today, the Eagles got 2
They got
Super
good.
Bowls, and the
Phils have been to the World Series.
Yeah,
and they're
I have
relevant.
seen a
Yeah.
Stanley Cup final. They lost, and the Sixers went in my lifetime too. So you're right. All right, we're gonna
Yeah.
take our time out here. Jeff, you want to just stick around?
really?
Yeah, like come on, just stick around. There
Sure.
we go.
All right.
Jeff, what are you looking forward to most this week? Are you looking forward to the Diamondback series, or are you looking forward to rookie minicamp starting tomorrow?
You know, the rookie mini camp, they're learning playbooks, they're learning this, they're learning that. We may not really see Jahad Campbell too much anyway. I'm really looking forward to see the Phillies getting some power back from Bryce Harper. And I need to see some power. Bryce Harper's hitting like 235. I want to see him catch some fire.
When the Diamondbacks come here, are we still thinking about the NLCS a couple of years ago?
No, let it go.
No,
let
last-
it go.
I don't think I'll ever get over that.
Really?
You gotta let it go.
It was such a...
Yeah, but you know what? The Mets situation made you realize that maybe
Yeah,
the
facts.
problem is bigger
That
than just.
part.
100%.
I'm excited for minicamp because I like to see their bright, smiling little faces as they step in and do something real with their team for the first time.
I'm excited for the NBA and NHL playoffs.
No, you're not. All
No,
right.
you're not.
We will see you tomorrow, guys.